Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to come and talk to you about the statement, "I should have bought my home in 2019." Many people I've been communicating with recently have been kind of reiterating something similar to this statement, where it's a kind of a regret that people are having as they're watching the cost of housing continue to just rise. I was looking online yesterday at the St. Louis Fed data, and I was watching just how far the median price home has gone from in Q1 of 2020. The median home price was 329,000. That means that if you lined up every single home, the homes from the beginning to the end, the home price in the middle was 329,000. And currently, that price is currently at about 418,000. So for it to move roughly about $100,000 in terms of the median price in just about 3 years is very dramatic. That is a huge rise and something that many people have struggled with over this time period. Additionally, with that, the cost of the mortgage rate has gone from a low of 3% for people, some maybe even below that, maybe 2% or so, some even 1%, all the way up to right now where it's hovering around the 8% mark, and is causing the affordability for a lot of people to kind of go out of whack completely. In 2022, when the Fed began raising rates, many people suggested that the cost of housing and the housing market itself was getting ready to crash and everything would be over with. I remember, larger YouTube channels, so, from those who were pushing the housing crash were just saying that this is it, this is it. And, many people during that time period, there was a lull in like September of 2022 where homeowners were trying their best to get out. They were, fire selling their homes. They were listing it for 520,000 and selling it for like 400,000 just with the hurry and the desire to get out of that housing market. The rates around that time was still about 5%. And looking back on where we are right now, that looks like a really cheap rate overall in comparison to that 8%. So back then in 2022, again, the median home price was about 433,000, but many people were getting deals that were much below that. And then by quarter four of 2022, it had risen all the way to about 480,000 before dropping again. We've had a pretty busy spring selling season, and things are kind of mellowing out a bit. The homes on the market as a result of the higher interest rates, many people are refusing to sell. And what's bad as well is that because of the cost to borrow right now, home builders also are not building, which is going to affect the inventory for the spring buying season. So what happens is, like you said, like they purchase land and things like that, but they have to continue to borrow during this time period. And as we're heading kind of into a recession, many people do not want to get left holding the bag in terms of the home builders. So they're kind of just walking away from projects. We're hearing these stories from a lot of different people who are just kind of seeing the same thing. They're going to sit out and wait until the springtime to see what happens, or wait until the Fed drops their rates. This is going to be just an interesting time for those who are interested in buying right now. And more, it's the reality is that it's almost better, depending on your viewpoint. It's almost better to have partnership with someone, partnership with families, partnership with a loved one, a spouse. But overall, we see the data is that those who are buying houses are overwhelmingly married couples, overwhelmingly people who are working together to attack this thing, because the cost is just astronomical. I think the average salary needed to purchase a home today is about $130,000. And that's not a small amount considering most of households make $62,000 in total. The building is continuing in places like the South, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, and things like that as people continue to migrate that way. But many of these hedge funds are purchasing in large numbers, and they're using those as rent-to-own properties. What exactly the spring and this next few months are going to be a very interesting time as we're looking to see what happens here with the rates. We all know that the foreclosure process, it could take anywhere up to 1 to 3 years. So at minimum, if everyone, if we had 1 million homes that could not afford their housing, even if that was the case, they would list their homes today, or that they would stop paying today. They wouldn't be foreclosed on at minimum until about this time next year. So that shows again that it takes a long time for this overall process to move forward. I'm gonna play a video here. President Biden spoke about his overall intention and how they desire to make sure that people are able to remain in their homes. Just a moment here. So on October 16th, the White House released some information just about this overall process. And it says, today the Biden-Harris administration is releasing new data showing major federal investment in home ownership and announcing key new actions to accelerate the process. These actions make important strides, but given the lack of homes on the market and the current interest rates to truly ensure home ownership is accessible to all households, we need Congress to act. That's why the President Biden proposed a $16 billion for the neighborhood homes tax credit, which will result in more than 400,000 homes built or rehabilitated, creating a pathway for more families to buy a home, start building wealth. The President also proposed a $10 billion down payment assistance program that would ensure first-time home buyers whose parents do not own a home can access home ownership alongside a $100 million down payment assistance pilot to expand home ownership opportunities for first-generation and or low-wealth first-time home buyers. So this overall is going to be a kind of gasoline to the fire, right? So what the market really needs right now is more inventory, and anything that is done by the from the federal side generally is going to, unless it's cutting the cost of building, it's generally going to add more demand to the market that's already not in need of demand. So adding money for first-time home buyers, down payment assistance, means more people are able to get in. They don't have to save for that money. Having options available for people who are first-time home buyers. These are all great aspects, but again, it's something that will add additional weight to the market. FHA recently spoke about something that they were implementing about having the 1 to 4 unit for investor properties. Instead of it being the 20 to 25%, it's dropped to about 5% overall for those who are willing to invest into the market. And that is going to have, again, bring some additional volume in terms of demand. So we're seeing exactly how this is going to play out. If there's not a significant drop here over the winter time in terms of cost, which again, as the rates go up, less people are buying, less people are putting their houses on the market. We saw this in 1980. So as less people put their houses on the market, there's less supply. And what happens is the homes above the median, the $700,000, $800,000 homes, less people are able to qualify for those homes, and the price for those homes continues to fall to a price that's closer to the median value. But what also happens is that as those homes are sold, and more of those homes are sold than the homes that are below the median value, the overall median price of a home continues to climb, because that is the homes that are being sold. So if you have 3 homes that are sold for $300,000, but you have 25 homes that are sold for $500,000, that means the median price of homes that are selling are continuing to rise. We'll see exactly how this works out. What are your thoughts on this? Please comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.